Asparagus. Asparagus. Good evening. Welcome to the July 15th, 2026 edition of Wednesday Edition. I'm Scott Leisure. July 15th, the dog days of summer. The dog days of summer? What in the flip is that even supposed to mean? As per the norm, when I was doing my research for this week's edition of everybody's favorite weekly podcast, Wednesday Edition, I was forced to look into the term dog days of summer. It has zero, zip, zilch, nada, and nothing to do with your dog or your cat. It's from ancient astronomy. The ancient Greeks and Romans named the period after Sirius, the dog star, which is the brightest star in the night sky. During this time of the year, Sirius rises and sets in conjunction with the sun. Ancient sky watchers believed that the combined light and heat of both the sun and Sirius were responsible for the intense summer heat. Well, there you go. Doing our best to always keep you informed here on Wednesdays. So, if the ancient Greeks and Romans once believed that the combined appearance of the sun and a star created higher global warming, back up. I didn't mean to use those words. I probably jacked my algorithm all up. So if the Greeks and Romans did believe that, that would have been their theory, right? Back when there were only theories. You see, at some point, I don't know when, someone decided to attach the word conspiracy. There are records of the term conspiracy theory being used in 1863 in response to a theory that the British were covertly involved in the American Civil War. I might have really jacked my algorithm up even more now. The term really gained traction when the CIA started throwing it around after the JFK assassination because there was that theory that the CIA was involved in the assassination, or was that a conspiracy theory? The ancient Greeks explained human existence and nature through both mythological tales and early scientific theories. Ancient Greeks believed life was guided by deities and shaped by the soul's quest for excellence. Many Greeks believed the soul was immortal. They believed that the soul reincarnates into different bodies across lifetimes to achieve purity. I like it. They believed that gods controlled daily affairs like weather, harvests, and childbirth. Humans were expected to respect fate and the gods and were encouraged to act with excellence to earn lasting glory. I really like it. Socrates and Plato believed that humans thrive when reason controls their desires, meaning true happiness comes from wisdom, justice, and self control, not just physical pleasures. I really, really, really like it. Another ancient Greek belief or theory was that all life came from water because moisture is essential for survival. I am all on board. So we were all marine life at one point, huh? We are going way too deep this early in this week's edition of Wednesday Edition. I wonder if the ancient Greeks ever thought that in July of the year 2026, parts of parts of civilization on the planet would be discussing theories about epidemics being leaked out of labs or from bats or whatever, or be discussing that major weather events like hurricanes or freezes are artificially manufactured by governments using tools like cloud seeding and energy weapons, or even people entertaining the thoughts about global leaders using economic volatility to systematically dismantle private property ownership and enforce a surveillance heavy corporate dictatorship, or even the theory that birds aren't real. What do we believe and what do we not believe? As we preach so often here on Wednesday edition, we in this country have the right to believe and the choice to believe whatever we want to believe. So don't stop believing. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. So if someone out there wants to believe that the moon is flat, that's okay. If someone out there wants to believe that the clouds in the sky look exactly the way they looked 50 years ago, that's okay. Even if someone wants to believe that the trans furry Dungeons and Dragons Mormon kid in Utah made a one-shot kill shot lying on a rooftop, or if you don't want to believe that, that's okay. A 5-day preliminary trial was held last week to determine if there is enough credible evidence to send Tyler Robinson to trial for the killing of political activist Charlie Kirk. There was a lot of evidence that was released last week, a lot of evidence in a preliminary hearing. Surveillance video of him firing the weapon, of him casing the scene in the morning of that day, and of course, the video that, if you've been following along, of him jumping off of a rooftop or someone, right? Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. There is all of the photos of text messages from Tyler to his lover Lance admitting to the killing, too. The dude is all but cooked before a trial has even been held. I know we only have 20 to 30 minutes together each week, so I don't want to devote a lot of the podcast to this. But one thing I do want for the Wednesday edition community to do is to at least maybe take 15 minutes this week and do some power studying on what's going on with this trial, how things get presented, and how things get defended. There is all of this evidence implicating the guy. I guess all of the other questions out there will be answered at trial, right? I mean, that's how the judicial system is supposed to work. Innocent until proven guilty. While you are doing your 15 minutes of power research, check out some of the wild claims and subplots to this whole thing, like the fact that Charlie Kirk's security team was on the phone with Ben Shapiro's security team as they were rushing Charlie Kirk to the hospital, or the fact that the SUV itself was sold about a month after the shooting. And where was all of the blood? Why was that area paved over? And what were all of those hand gestures going on seconds before sharpshooter furry D&D guy got off his shot? I'm sure all of those questions will be answered as our judicial system and the right to a fair trial plays out in this case. There is a phrase I use sometimes daily and sometimes many times in a day. I don't think I've ever shared with the Wednesday edition circle before. The phrase, is more will be revealed. It's a paraphrase from a line in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. The line in the book reads, "We realize we know only a little. God will constantly disclose more to you and to us." In the recovery community, it serves as a reminder to trust the recovery process, to practice patience, and to remain open to personal growth over time. But as many ideas and theories in recovery, this can also be applied to everyone. Trust the process, be patient, remain open. We need to understand that, as we mention a lot here on Wednesdays, a lot of things are completely out of our control. It's when we try to force these things, manipulate these things, and control these things that we find frustration, anger, disappointments, stress, and drama. Ew. Drama is unhealthy. It's not flattering, and a lot of times it's just unnecessary. I'm not telling you that I lead a life void of drama, anger, or manipulation. Find me someone who does, right? What I'm saying is there are strategies and tools we can use to mitigate drama and the stress. Mitigate. One of these tools is to pause. We say it all the time. Just stop, gather your thoughts, and just slow down and chill out. With the way that life moves in 2026 and with all of the information slammed around, all of the excitement, the activity, artificial intelligence, social media, agendas, cover ups, fraud, crime, and overall grossness out there, people can get a little carried away and lost in it all. Dial it in, refocus, and just breathe. I don't care how many times you need to pause during the day to maintain a level head and cohesive thinking either. The first thing you need to do, though, if you struggle with knowing when the hamster is running too fast in the wheel, is to be able to recognize when that is happening. And that's not going to be easy for some people. Some people can only operate when the wheel is spinning out of control. What are some signs that you're letting things out of your control spin you out of control? It's been my experience that my body will tell me if something is off. Anxiety, insomnia, headaches, increased heart rate, inconsistent appetite, hyperfocusing, overthinking minor details, or trying to control other people's choices. Let's pause and let's think about that, okay? You see, when we pause, we create space between how you feel and how you react. It allows you time to process your thoughts, and 99 times out of 100, it will also decrease the intensity of your response. It will also help you recognize your triggers and help you work through them. Ultimately, help you grow and benefit your overall health. Don't we all want that? Think back to last week's edition of Wednesday Edition when we were discussing managing our time and knowing what things we should make time for and what things we shouldn't make time for. Should we be allowing things that aren't even in our control to dictate our mood or steal from our time? I know. There is going to be at least one thing each day in our lives out of our control that is going to try to steal our energy. It's unavoidable. Mitigate, right? I'm okay using my tools and my strategies against a few of these things a day, but why would I want my own actions to increase the number of these situations? Why would I want to deal with more of these situations than I have to? Especially if I'm creating more of these situations. Are we all following along? I really hope the individuals in the Wednesday edition circle that need to understand what I'm saying are understanding what I'm saying. Not everything is going to be figured out, decided, ruled on, and completed in the time or the way that we all think or want it to be. Have we all accepted this? The second we think that we have that control or power, it's taking from our energy, right? There are things in the world that I can change and things in the world that I can't change. It's up to me to understand the difference. It's up to me to also accept the things that I can't change. It's up to me to understand the one thing that isn't going the way I think it should be going could be opening a door for something else in my world. Damn, Scott. I guess I never paused to look at it that way. Holy smokes, people. What a Wednesday so far. The dog days of summer. Ancient Greek theories, modern day conspiracies, trans furry D&D nerd sharpshooters, acceptance, pausing, mitigating drama, the name of my new band, manipulating weather, drone birds, and the next doozy out of the Netherlands. More than 800 pounds of peanut butter, enough for around 15,000 sandwiches, has been spread across the floor of a museum in the Netherlands in tribute to Dutch artist Wim T. Schippers, who died last month. Wim T. Schippers. The display has been created a few times over the years. The idea started in 1962 when shippers started covering platforms on floors with shards of glass and another display using salt. The current peanut butter display honoring the late artist is 270 square foot hexagon layered with a 2 centimeter deep layer of smooth peanut butter. It took 2 employees of the museum and some drywall trowels several days to spread 40 buckets of peanut butter. Prior to his death, the museum and shippers discussed how to recreate the work in the future, producing a 20-point plan that included the requirement to apply the peanut butter as smoothly as possible, and that no one is supposed to stand in or lie down on the peanut butter. Shippers did not specify the size or shape of the work, but he did say it needed to be smooth peanut butter, and he preferred some brand of Dutch peanut butter that they make. For the record, there is a sign at the museum's entrance warning visitors with peanut allergies that they might not want to enter the space. Now, I don't ever remember one kid in elementary school having a peanut allergy. Do you? I'm going to pause really quick Before we wrap up this week's edition of Wednesday Edition and wonder if any of the Wednesday Edition circle thought at the start of the podcast that by the end of the podcast, we would be discussing Dutch peanut butter floor art. I guess more will be revealed, right? Do your part to help keep cash alive and Google these three things this week, okay? Number one, Google the definition of mitigate. I'll read it, but I want you to Google it and reread it this week, okay? To mitigate means to make something such as a problem, pain, or damage less severe, harmful, or intense. Number two, Google some mindfulness exercises to help you stay calm and present while waiting for clarity. Well, that should be easy. Number three, Google peanut butter artist, unless you're concerned about your peanut allergy, of course. Remember, the price we pay for associating with the wrong people is enough reason for us to be stricter about who we keep in our circles, right? It's not for me to tell you to hang out or not hang out in the trans, furry, Dungeons and Dragons gun club. You do you. Did I mention that Tyler Robinson had direct contact with members of Turning Point USA the morning of the shooting? Maybe he was just asking them the best vantage point he would have at the event. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this thing and get on with our week. Okay, the top 5 songs from July 15th, 1982. It wasn't a Wednesday, it was a Thursday. Okay, here we go. July 15th, 1982, number 5 song in the nation. Number 5, Let It Whip, the Dazz Band. Piggybacking on that super funky countdown from a couple of weeks ago, the Dazz Band and Let It Whip gets a funky Wednesday edition stamp of approval. 1 for 1. Number 4, Eye of the Tiger, Survivor. It only seems fitting. Sylvester Stallone turned 80 years old this past week, and Eye of the Tiger from Rocky 3 is the number 4 song on the countdown. How about that? 2 for 2. Number 3, Hurt So Good, John Cougar, before John Mellencamp and before John Cougar Mellencamp. Sink your teeth right through my bones, baby. Let's see what we can do. Come on and make it Hurt So Good. He has a lot of really bad songs, but I dig Hurt So Good. It's cool. 3 for 3. Number 2, Rosanna, Toto. The theory is that the song was written about actress Rosanna Arquette. See, the drummer was dating her at the time of the song. I'm sure it's all just coincidence and speculation, right? Toto gets a pass, 4 for 4. The number 1 song from July 15th, 1982, Don't You Want Me? The Human League. Massive 80s hit. It's much too late to find. You think you've changed your mind? You'd better change it back or we will both be sorry. Don't you want me, baby? I love it when we have a perfect 5 for 5 countdown on Wednesday edition. It's awesome. Pause when you need to pause this week, okay? Recognize the things out of your control. Change the things you can change and accept the things you can't. Try to not hyper focus. Avoid drama, create some art, make good choices. Remember, more will always be revealed. Don't smoke any crack, and as always, don't get trafficked. Remember that all of the editions of Wednesday edition are posted on the YouTube channel. Wednesday edition. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. only on YouTube and scottleisure.com. Subscribe to the YouTube and message me if you want a free t-shirt, or if you want or need any more information about balancing calamity with serenity. I'm serious. Thank you again, Wednesday edition people. Thank you for allowing me to spew, vent, ramble, voice my thoughts, ideas, and opinions. We have had a really good chat tonight, haven't we? Remember, true approval isn't in a number or a click or a like. It's in you. It's in your reactions, and maybe more importantly, in your non reactions. Oh, yeah. By the way, Cash Friday is in 2 days. Don't forget to do your part to help keep cash alive by stopping at your favorite ATM machine on Friday and get a nice, crisp $20 bill to spend at a local small business or with an artist this weekend. It's every week, people. Stay vigilant. Eat your protein, watch your back, and watch your friends' backs, okay? Good night.